The subscription model is coming to a theater near you. Hi there, welcome back to another exciting episode of Plain English, the podcast where we talk about what's going on in the world, but we do it a little slower than normal speed, so everyone who's learning English can follow along and understand everything. And we throw in some learning too. Learning can be fun, right? Speaking of learning, you can find all the resources for this episode at plainenglish.com/192. Coming up today, the first company to offer unlimited movies in the theater for a monthly fee has crashed out of business. But the subscription model is here to stay as the big movie theater chains offer lots of movies for a flat monthly fee. The English phrase we'll discuss later today is the sweet spot, and we'll have a quote from Roger Ebert, too, famous movie critic. The video lesson is about how to use rather than, and our flashcards for this episode are all about subscription businesses, something I'm learning a lot about lately. Check out our email list to get even more episode resources for free, delivered straight to your inbox every Monday and Thursday. Get on that list at plainenglish.com/mail. It was something out of JR's wildest dreams. He's the producer of this program, and he's a movie lover. He was in Memphis, Tennessee, a city in the U.S., and he saw a billboard advertising MoviePass. For $10 a month at the time, you could go to one movie a day with no other limits, and you could go to just about any theater in the country. He told me about it, and I remember thinking, there is absolutely no way this company stays in business. And this month, my prediction came true. MoviePass is no more. The company was troubled since the very beginning. Its mission was laudable: bring the subscription model to the movie-going experience. And it made a certain amount of sense. Tickets are expensive, usually between $9 and $18 in the US. And the theaters have lots and lots of empty seats. Some people are movie fanatics, so they'd be willing to pay a little more for unlimited tickets. They can fill those empty seats and buy expensive popcorn and soda. The problem was that MoviePass tried to do this without the cooperation of the big theater chains. So MoviePass, and I don't know how they thought this would work, but MoviePass would charge customers $10 a month. Then every time that customer wanted to actually go to the movies, MoviePass would have to pay full price of the ticket to the theater. So MoviePass would lose money on a customer if that customer redeemed only one movie a month. Forget about unlimited or one a day. At its peak, MoviePass had attracted 3 million subscribers. Who wouldn't want to sign up? It calls to mind a funny expression in business, kind of a joke, that says you might be losing money on each unit, but you're making it up in volume. And that's pretty much what happened. They were offering something that was too good to be true, and they lost money on every customer. That's a tough bargain when you have 3 million customers and the business can't scale. They tried changing the membership plans several times which led to confusion and outrage among customers. They stopped taking new customers over the summer, and they finally shut down last week. So, is the subscription model dead for movies? Not really. Customers love the subscription model when it comes to streaming. In fact, in a recent survey, most people thought Netflix streaming was a good bargain, but that the price of a movie ticket was not a good bargain. Offering consumers another way to get movies would seem to make sense. The problem with MoviePass was they had to pay full price for each ticket, and they didn't even get the benefit of selling expensive popcorn. Theater chains, though, are a different story. In fact, now 3 of the major theater chains in the US are trying out subscription models for themselves. The biggest chain here is AMC Theaters, and they released a program called A-List about a year ago. With A-List, you get 3 movies a week, including their premium offerings like 3D and IMAX, and you can reserve seats ahead of time. That costs between $20 and $24 per month, again for 3 movies a week. AMC says it has 860,000 subscribers, and the average subscriber goes 2.6 times per month. That strikes me as right in the sweet spot. It's a good value for the consumer, but it's not so many times that AMC is giving away too much. Cinemark has a subscription program that has 700,000 members who attend once per month on average. That one's a little cheaper. Regal, another big chain, just launched a membership program here too. That one has different tiers, which are between $18 and $24 per month. The average moviegoer in the US goes to about 5 movies a year. So this is a good bargain for the people who want to go to a little more than average. It's probably good for smaller movies too. Movie fans will always go see the big hits, but a subscription probably lets people feel more comfortable about seeing less popular movies. Maybe they wouldn't be willing to pay $15 to take a risk on a film they've never heard of before, but if it's included in a subscription, why not go? So maybe this will boost the exposure of smaller movies. This is a more sustainable model than MoviePass. Theaters like the consistent revenue, and there are usually so many empty seats that it's not a big deal if they accommodate more people in each theater. The big chains also like the stickiness factor. With subscriptions, customers are much more likely to stick with just one chain rather than shop around for the best times or prices. And of course, every time someone walks in the door, they can sell them high-priced concessions. Another advantage could be the data. By collecting enough data on people's movie-going habits, they may be able to direct offers more effectively at their best customers. The subscription model is new in the US, but it's been in existence abroad for some time. The British chain Cineworld has its Cineworld Unlimited. In Mexico, the largest theater chain, and JR's favorite theater chain, Cinépolis, has a 3-tiered program. At Cinépolis, you have to pay for a full year in advance, and with the highest tier, you get Cinépolis VIP, which, according to JR and verified by me, has the most comfortable seats of all the Mexican theater chains. MoviePass, what a fiasco. If you are interested in hearing more about that story, there's a podcast called Spectacular Failures, and it featured MoviePass on one of the episodes. I'll link to that on the transcript at plainenglish.com. Just scroll down to this part of the transcript and you'll see it right there. Time to say hello to a few listeners. Liliana from Mexico says she's been listening for over a year, and she says Plain English has changed her life. Changed her life. I love it. She even sent me proof. The welcome email she got from me in May 2018. She sent that to prove to me how long she's been with us. That's great. Changed her life in a little over a year. Also, Miguel from Mexico listens to Plain English as soon as he opens his eyes in the morning. What a way to start the day, right? Speaking of getting in good habits, get in the habit of checking out the bonus word we send with every episode. We do 2 words a week, and every time we release an episode, JR sends an email to our friends on the email list. And that message includes a bonus word. It's a word that I use in the episode, but it's not the one we talk about. That's why it's called the bonus word. It's extra. And if you subscribe for a year or more, like Liliana has been, then you will learn 104 new words or phrases in a year, over and above the 104 words and phrases we talk about on the show. And it's totally free, so you have no excuse not to be on that list. Just go to plainenglish.com/mail, M-A-I-L, and enter your details to start getting those emails, those bonus words for free starting on Thursday. Today's expression is in the sweet spot. I was reading the transcript of the first half of the episode, looking for a good expression to talk about, and I didn't see anything I liked. And then I started adding the details about the subscriber numbers at AMC's A-List program, and the words in the sweet spot just somehow came out of my fingers and onto the screen. And as soon as I saw them, I thought, yes, this is the expression we are going to talk about this week. In the sweet spot, that means right where you want it. It comes from baseball or cricket or tennis or even golf, any sport where you hit a ball with a bat or a racket. I'm tempted to illustrate this with a baseball example since I was at Wrigley Field yesterday, but let's do it with tennis. Let's say you're returning a serve. You reach back, ready to hit the ball, and you swing the racket forward. Now pause. You could hit that ball in any part of the racket. Down low by the handle, way over at the other end, toward the top, toward the bottom, or you could hit the ball right in the sweet spot, right in the middle, right where it gives you the most power, right where you want it, right in the sweet spot. So that expression has been adapted to mean, in general, right where you want something. AMC's subscription is about $20 per month, and their members see, on average, 2.6 movies per month. I said that seems like it's right in the sweet spot, right where they want it. If members were going less often, then $20 a month wouldn't be a good deal for the customer. That wouldn't be good because customers would probably cancel pretty soon. But if they were going to 10 or 15 movies a month for just $20, then the price would probably be too low. But to me, I think if I were AMC, I'd be pretty happy with those average attendance numbers. 2.6 visits per month seems like it's right in the sweet spot, right where they want it. It's a common phrase in business. You want to find the sweet spot in the market. If you're selling something, you don't want to charge too little or too much. You want to find the sweet spot. That goes for selling subscriptions or selling a house. Either way. Some people say the sweet spot for selling a bottle of wine is $20. If you sell for less, people will think it's no good. But if you sell for more, then nobody will buy it because it's too expensive. The sweet spot is right around $20. Now, I know you can get good wine for less than $20, but not everyone knows that. I cook a lot of vegetables at home. I like to do asparagus in the oven. I don't really time it. I just kind of guess based on how it looks. If I don't leave it in long enough, then it doesn't taste very good. I like to have the heat on high so it gets a little crispy on the outside. But it's also no good if it's overcooked. I try to find the sweet spot where it gets a little crispy, but it isn't overcooked. Now that I think about it, you can use sweet spot when you're looking for just the right position on a sliding scale. Prices are the most obvious, but other things that involve judgment and quantities are also good for this expression. Quick quote for you today. Roger Ebert was one of the most famous movie critics in America. He had a long-running column in a newspaper in Chicago, but he was much more famous than that. He was all over TV, magazines, and the internet. Anyway, here's a quote about movies from Roger Ebert. "Every great film should seem new every time you see it." I like that, and I think that's a good way to close this episode. Every great film should seem new every time you see it. By the way, if you're looking for a good movie, The Goldfinch was released on September 13th, and I really want to see that one. I'm probably exactly the average moviegoer. I go about 5 times a year. I watch far more movies and series at home, but I will see this one in theaters. The Goldfinch is an amazing book, one of my favorite books of all time. I'm a little afraid to see the movie, to be honest, because the book is always better, but I have to see this one. All right, that's all today. Thanks for being with us as always. Remember to check out the video lesson of this episode at plainenglish.com/192. If you'd like a video lesson on how to use the words rather than, just log into your Plain English Plus account and click the video tab on today's episode webpage. What? You're not a member of Plain English Plus yet? You're missing out. Twice a week, I teach our growing roster of members how to use these little words and phrases in English that help you express yourself and connect ideas. Today's is about the term rather than. And as of today, we have 13 of these lessons for you in previous episodes, and we come out with 2 a week. So if you're not yet enjoying all the benefits of a Plus membership, then remember to visit plainenglish.com/plus today. JR and I are back on Thursday for another exciting episode of Plain English. See you then.